Welcome everyone. We will be talking about employee engagement. The title of this presentation is People Engagement. Remember, employees and people are basically one and the same thing as far as keeping themselves engagement is itself a big task in nowadays. Now, if you look into organizations around the globe, attrition rates are very high. People are also moving into their own startup. So it becomes very difficult to retain the quality people, the talented people, and that is the strategy that we will be discussing in approximately 20 minutes of this particular presentation thereby. So yes, people engagement, what exactly it is? It is employee engagement happens in two different fashion, right? What are they? They are the personal satisfaction. The employees is content with the role that has been given. The employee is content with the dignity, the reputations, with the value, the prescribed and ascribed reputation or the branding that the company offers is to the employees per se, the status it has been offered, or his or her contribution to the organization's success. If that is what it can be been looked into it, if there is a productivity issues and if the employee identified itself with the productivities of the organization, it's been depending upon it, it is what becomes a much more crucial factors, and thereby it limits the employee engagement. Thereby this is what we are looking forward to it. Yes, this is the thing that needs to be done. Now, business case for inclusions and engagement. What are the various business cases that comes into the place once again and every now and then that is to be notified? First and foremost thing is the global demographic shift. People are becoming agile and probably mobile at the same thing. Obviously, yes, there is a demographic shift, and the overall economies that are doing well are young economies. Yes, and that young economies will have less fixtures on particular attributes like loyalty or durability of a stay of an organization. As long as they are being happy, contented, they will be staying back. The moment they feel a better opportunities lurk somewhere else, they will move towards it. So global demographic shift is one of this thing. Attracting the best talent becomes easier and is a fallacy at the same time. So employee retention and increased productivity. Definitely yes, an employee being retained in an organization. Remember, new employees takes time for the employees to get adjusted to the new settings of the organization, as the case might be. The employee retentions and whereas the longer employees, the older employees will actually start producing, and they don't require time to get themselves adjusted as such. So retained employees and engaged employees will be far more productive than anybody else. Greater flexibility, agility, and innovation contributes to the company's performance and the competitive advantages, as the case might be. Now we talk about the inclusion. What is to be meant by inclusion? If you look into it, the word art that I have given out here, it might be process, possible, seen, definition, seen, many, excluded, means, few, included, think, almost, sense, opinion, change. You name it. These are the words that comes in your mind as far as inclusions is concerned. So basically, the achievement of a work environment in which all individuals are treated fairly and respectively, yes, or should I say respectfully, have an equal access to opportunities and resources. They can contribute fully towards the organization's success. They are the one to ensure that the organization does keep on doing and operating on a smoother function without any hiccup. And that is what inclusion is all about, the achievement of work environment in where every persons from every walks of life, different background, are treated equally, have an equal chances of excelling and outdoing themselves. They there are nothing called exclusivity. Everybody has been treated fairly and equally, and that is what inclusivity is all about. It. Remember, workforce diversity. I have been trying to tell it to you about the diversity. You look it into it, the things which are visible diversity. Is something like an iceberg, and that is the reason why I've drawn this particular pic for your understanding. Things like your skin color, probably my skin color, may differ altogether, right? So this is visible things. Your age, my age would be differ. Your age and the person sitting beside you, all probably thinking about differs. Ethnicity might be different, physical attributes will be different, behavior, gender, obviously, these are pronounced differences that can be visibly seen or felt. Whereas the things which are invisible but there has a long impeding thing, for example, the physical abilities or qualities that comes around. Say people might be looking very hefty, very strong, but inside they are very fragile, probably, and vice versa. Religion, sexual orientation, which are on the skim of the things, are there on the top of the water, right? But as you go down, you will find military experiences, level in organization, personality, values, marital status, thinking style, culture, work background, belief, functional speciality, smokers, non-smokers, communication style, native born, non-native, parental status, socioeconomic status, education, and things like that comes around it. The global workforce is changing. Yes, definitely the global workforce is changing. And if you look into it, I have given people from different background. What are the prime criteria which will enforce or which can be visibly seen that the force has been changing, the workforce? Something which is certain economies are having an aging population, right? And where there are many economies which have full of young people, absolutely vibrant population. Women participation in the workforce has increased by leaps and bounds in the past few decades. People with disabilities have been recognized as a force to reckon with. The LGBT community as preferences for the sexual orientations of the people. Now there is nothing called to be shied about, and they are coming out and open with all possible ventures that is there. Then we have the religious diversities, as the case might be, as you are looking into it. How how extra or probably how well can you go about, as the case might be. This is what needs to be understood every now and then. The religious diversities has to be maintained by the. So let us understand the immigration, the fourth generation, the fifth generation, and things like that that comes around it. We need to understand everything from every point of view, every perspective that comes around. We have the skill, the education, the socioeconomic groups, the cultural competence, the leadership issues that is being built upon it, and that is what we need to understand as on when on basis. This is the global workforce that has been there. So what tops the mind for the chief executive officers? The global talent shortages, you name it, and we have. Remember, the global talent shortages states out that more than 80% expects to grow operation in Asia and South America. Why? Because this is where the population has been actually been getting densely, and the population is young at the same. So that means a vibrant market available. 76% of the CEOs are making changes to the strategy to manage the talent. Absolutely, yes. Now, earlier times it was the graying on the hair on their head. The graying hair would define an experience and probably an asset, but nowadays it might not be the same. It is the talent shortage, and with the advent of the technology coming around, younger generations are not only commanding far better salaries that they used to earn in their lifespan. Whereas 59% says they see that emerging markets are more important than the developed market in the future. Why? Yes, this is where the potential is all about it. We are looking to build up a scheme of things and economics of scope in such kind of areas. We should be ensuring it in numbers of time. This is what we are looking forward to it. Lest would be the 53% of the CEOs see the lack of key skills as a major challenge. As an absolutely major challenge that comes around it is the 31% of the employers worldwide find it difficult to fill in the position then and thereby, as the case might be. So employee engagement is an engagement levels actively disengage or actively engage, as the case might be disengage, as the scenarios tells you. Yes, we are looking at people engagement. We have a bulk of the people who are employed but they are disengaged, are only a fragment of the people who are engaged and employed, and they are looking at to the furtherance of the achievement of the goals of the organization, and there is a fragment of populations who are actively disengaged. In fact, they are detrimental to the company altogether, as the case might be. This is what needs to be taken care of. Remember, the percentage that has been shown it to you is what we have said. As on when on basis, more than half is disengaged. In fact, if you maintain the actively disengaged and disengaged, they will comprise approximately 71% altogether. That is what we are looking to it. 71, that means more than two-thirds of the population is disengaged, and that is the challenge that comes around it. So employee engagement is what we are looking forward to. As on when on basis, how to go about it. You need to have a highly engaged employees, which is approximately one third. Unsupported is 22%, detached is 17%, and disengaged is 26%, as the case might be. And I'm trying to give you pictographical representation of the research report that have been published in leading academic journals, as the case might be. Yes, employee engagement is all that we are looking forward towards it. Remember, 31% of these respondents say that they are engaged at the work, but probably how many of you are actually looking into the things? Lack of employee engagement in United States cost approximately $350 billion annually. Think if they would have been actively engaged, the corporation would be much more profitable. So employees who have been most committed to the organization gave 57% more efforts and were 87% less likely to resign than the employees who consider themselves as disengaged, as the case might be. So what really motivates a worker? Money, benefits, or fancy office? You look at it. Money, she is smiling. Yes, definitely yes. But a fancy office, the corner room, the corner chamber, the corner office, probably with an accommodation, probably with a chauffeur-driven car. Is that what we are looking at it? Or the benefits in terms of retirement, vacation, health benefit, things have been taken care for yourself, your spouse, and your family at best. So what really motivates? Autonomy. There are the real motivators of 21st century workers. People want to be shackle free. They want more time towards themselves so that they can focus their energies as on when on required onto their own lives. Mastery is what we are looking forward to it. And how do we go across doing the mastery as the point comes around it? We should ensure what is to be done and what is not to be done, as the case might be. So let us talk about it. Let us be very factual as to what can be done and what cannot be done. So based upon it is the desire to be better, purposeful. We have to improvise, the yearning to do something of good nature that comes around it. That is what is important. Now, let us go for opportunities to apply one's talent again and again onto the persons thereby, which has been listed there. So, opportunities to succeed, opportunities to learn, top driver for contributions are more varied, reflecting on each employee's circumstances, region, age, functions thereby, as the case might be. Benefits of high employee engagement is plentiful and plenty many, as the case might be showing it to you. They are giving a higher return on the shareholders. Productivity improves by leaps and bounds. There is obviously a satisfaction as far as the organization performance is also improved. The absenteeism rate goes down. An engaged employee would love to be presenting themselves in the office every moment, every now and then. The turnovers, when I say turnovers, is the turnover of the employees, as in the attrition rate. Attrition rate goes down and over above. So there is a support, there is a resiliency for defending the spirit of the organization, the goals of the organization, the ethos of the organization, the cultures are being well taken care of. Their employee themselves becomes the guardian of the company. So we have the shareholders, as the case might be. The top drivers of sustainable engagement and retention. What are these that people should focus on to engage the employees, the people around there? One is the leadership. Why does it matter? Because it matters in a growing business, shows the sincere interest of the employees' well-being, behaves consistently with the organization's core value, earns employee trust and confidence, thereby it is what we are looking forward to it. Stress, balance and workload, how do we manage them? This is tangible, manageable stress level at work levels, the healthy balance between work and personal life, enough employees in the group to do the work, flexible work arrangement, goals and objectives. Employee understand that the organization business goal, steps that they need to take and reach those goals, and how their job contributes to achievement of these goals as the case might be. Yes, we look into the goals and objectives by. The next two drivers are supervisors. Remember, a person doesn't quit a job, they only quit their bosses as such. So if we have wonderful supervisors who can assign the tasks suited to the requirement of the, or should I say the temperament of the employees, acts in a way consistent with their words, as in they walk their talk, coaches employees to improve performance, treat employees with respect, organization's image highly regarded with the general public, displays honesty and integrity in business activities, as with the passage of time with the comes around it. What do you think? What do you think is just an understanding for you to understand? Why do you people voluntarily leave organization? What is it that they perceived unfairness each time every year? Look, this wonderful lady is showing her back towards you, as in, yes, she has got fed up with the organization and she would love to work somewhere else. This is what we need to ask. These are the questions that we need to go around. Why people say I quit, the pink slip that people have been enjoying, or should I say been issuing altogether. Each year more than 2 million people voluntarily leave an organization due to perceived unfairness. Yes, it is the perceived unfairness that comes around it. This trend itself cost US economy, the corporations out there, the corporate bodies out there, approximately $64 billion each year when people leave midway out of frustration, out of the fact that they think they've been ill-treated or been subjected to unfair practices altogether. So key strategies for retaining top talent, as per my understanding, go slow when you are going for hiring, and always look for the people who are retainable. Absolutely. Do not just fill the jobs, build career. Make retention strategies personal, not one size fit all. Closely examine underperformance, invest in line leadership development, allow more flexibility, offer meaningful and challenging work as the case might be. Listen to the employee comments and respond in a timely manner. Encourage, reward diversity of thoughts, innovation idea, and problem solving. Provide frequent and balanced feedback coaching. Update technology system. Conduct the stay interviews as much as possible. What we are looking forward to it. These are the key strategies for retaining the topmost talent around the globe everywhere. So common mistakes are micromanaging. Often what happens, the boss ends up micromanaging every nitty-gritty of the things that an employee has supposed to go around it. So there is a lack of vision, or probably they do not been able to communicate it as effectively as possible. Take the credits and gives the blame. This is one of the most common syndrome that people often see. So if things goes right, it is a credit to somebody else, the boss in this case. But if things goes wrong, it is the employee that needs to be blamed. So lacks accountability. My way or the highway is a way where you do not understand or get empathize with the workings of your subordinates. You go by your flow. Provides little or no feedback or coaching, shows favoritism, treats everyone's the same. Now, when you treat everyone the same, it seems a very neutral and a positive sentence. But why should you treat everyone same? The question is, if people are productive, if people are doing wonderful performance, you cannot equate them with the people who are non-productive, who are performing below par. How can you treat everyone say the task focus or team oriented, embrace the status quo, select and lead based on like me's, ignore diversity of thoughts and varying opinions that comes around it. Let me give you a brief glimpse into the competencies of the 21st century leaders. They are adaptability, passionate, educated, knowledgeable, risk taker, strategic, visionary, inspirational, courageous, decision maker, empowering, people skill, tech savvy, team oriented, accountable, innovative thinkers, trustworthy, trusting, result oriented, authenticity, transparency, self awareness, and keep it fun, as the case might be, all around it. So, the 10 best practices that I want to wind up before I will wind up this particular presentation, the video around it. The top five are given out in this particular slide, and the rest five in the subsequent slide. First and foremost, how do we increase employee engagement? Have a clear, compelling directions. Give the vision very distinctly clear to all the employees and empower the employees to enact upon them. Align, support strategic goals. Focus employees at every level, at all levels. Do not just talk. Do not just talk, but also walk the talk. And that means whatever you say, you should stick to it. You should be getting the back of every employee that reports to you. Everything that comes, everything that fails under your belt should be ascribed to you, and everything that is successful should be ascribed to your subordinate. And that is the only way you can earn their trust and respect. Remember, communication is what is required, and communication should always be transparent and honest. As often as possible, communicate. The next five is focusing on the career growth and development, giving due weightage to your subordinates, your team member, and believe me or not, they will return it back with interest, with extra premium attached to your development. Increase cultural competence, recognize, reward high performance, know what motivates our people, practice the platinum rules of having going for everyone, ensuring that everybody is successful. Only when the team is successful can you be counted to be a successful person yourself. Include the inclusions into all of your business process. Inclusivity is a must. With these few words, I wind up this particular presentation. Thank you for watching this video.